Star Wars 7 by 7 episode 2568. All right, let's do a little bit more in the way of Mandalorian Emmy Award talk. The Vegas odds makers are already opining on the major categories, and Variety, one of the Hollywood trades, has weighed in as well. So let's talk about the odds for the major creative award categories for the Mandalorian's nominations. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7 by 7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy. And thank you so much for joining me for it. So, before we get into the whole Vegas odds making situation on The Mandalorian and what their chances are for one of the big awards on the primetime Emmys, we have to take a moment and stop by the Department of Corrections. So, in yesterday's episode, as I was talking about The Mandalorian's nominations, there was one that I left out, and that was Timothy Olyphant, who was also nominated in the Guest Actor category for his portrayal of Cobb Vanth in Chapter 9 of The Mandalorian, The Marshal. And in that category, Carl Weathers is also nominated as Greef Karga for Chapter 12, The Siege. But I missed saying anything about Timothy, and an eagle-eared listener named Marissa chopped me a line on Twitter and said, hey, did you mention him or did I miss it? And nope, I missed it. I was the one who missed it. So thank you, Marissa, for very kindly pointing that out. And so this also means that The Marshal has 2 nominations and The Siege has 1 still. That hasn't changed. But yesterday I said The Marshal only had 1 nomination for this whole Emmy situation. It's actually 2. And the other one is Jon Favreau being nominated for Outstanding Directing. Speaking of, let's dig into what the Vegas odds makers are saying and what Variety, one of the Hollywood trades, is saying, and in the sense of who they think the winners are going to be for the categories. The Vegas folks and the Variety folks are in agreement, so it's just a matter of second, third, fourth place and moving onward with that. And unfortunately for Jon Favreau, right now the odds makers are not suggesting he is going to win for directing for The Mandalorian. And as we talked about yesterday, The Mandalorian is actually tied with The Crown for the most nominations, and that seems to be where all of the industry heat is going, basically, is toward The Crown. So The Crown actually has 2 episodes nominated in the directing category, and sometimes that causes a split the difference situation that lets somebody else win, but doesn't seem like that's the case. Right now, this one particular episode of The Crown is an odds-on favorite to win. A Handmaid's Tale episode is in second place, the other Crown episode is in third, and in fourth place is the Mandalorian episode directed by Jon Favreau, Chapter 9, The Marshal. And that's out of 6 total nominations in the category. Yeah, I mean, 5-to-1 odds according to this one website, Gold Derby, I believe it is. You know, that sounds good, but then when you see what the other ones are, it's like 39-10, which is basically like 4-to-1 or something like that. I'm making the number up. I'm just basically saying the odds are better right now for these other ones. Meanwhile, over in the writing category, there are 7 nominees, 2 of which are for The Mandalorian. That's Dave Filoni's Chapter 13, The Jedi nomination, and Jon Favreau's Chapter 16, The Rescue nomination. But unfortunately, neither of them are heavily favored to win this one. Once again, it's The Crown in first place in the Vegas odds makers betting right now. Pose is the second place one. Handmaid's Tale is third, and then The Jedi is number 4, and then all the way at the bottom is The Rescue at number 7. So the odds makers have it 6-to-1 for The Jedi and 7-to-1 for The Rescue. And then in the Outstanding Drama Series category, which The Mandalorian is nominated yet again, that's so awesome, honestly, that it is. And there are 8 nominees in this category for this year, and competition is tough. The Boys, Bridgerton, The Crown, The Handmaid's Tale, Lovecraft Country, Pose, and This Is Us, along with The Mandalorian. Mandalorian right now is in third place in the betting. Yes, The Crown, once again, is in first place, followed by The Handmaid's Tale. Then the odds are 6-to-1 on that one. So yeah, the news has really been great for the odds makers. I think the best opportunity right now that the odds makers are seeing as far as The Mandalorian winning one of these primetime Emmy Awards is in the supporting actor category. Now, there is one person from The Crown nominated for this category, but surprisingly, this person is not favored at all to win. Meanwhile, The Handmaid's Tale has 3 of the nominees in this category, and that's a situation where looking at actors in categories, it does tend to split the difference basically, and so the odds are that none of those 3 actors in The Handmaid's Tale will win. It does seem, however, like things are lining up in such a way as to make it that The Mandalorian will only be winning the Creative Arts Awards. Those are the ones that are not given out in prime time. They're spread out over a few days before the primetime event happens. Those are the more technical ones for the most part. So it seems like The Mandalorian is posed to do very well in those categories, but maybe not ready to crack the primetime ones just yet. So that takes care of 4 nominees in the category. And then, of course, there's Giancarlo Esposito for The Mandalorian, also Chris Sullivan for This Is Us, John Lithgow for Perry Mason, and Michael K. Williams for Lovecraft Country. And Michael K. Williams is actually the heavy favorite right now to win the Best Supporting Actor Emmy for his work in Lovecraft Country. However, the odds makers have Giancarlo Esposito in second place for this, which is exciting. I mean, it says 6-1 odds, which I know, like we've said, a couple of 6-1s for ones that were lower down in the list in the other categories, but to have Giancarlo Esposito ranked in second place in the odds making stuff right now is pretty darn cool. So yeah, there you go. Giancarlo Esposito, probably the best hope for a primetime Emmy. That's where all my rooting is going to go. Although I will say, if Michael K. Williams wins, then I'm not going to feel badly about that at all, because he, of course, was supposed to play the Dryden Voss character in Solo: A Star Wars Story before all that foo-fa-ra happened, and they had to go to reshoots, and it didn't work with his schedule, so he had to bow out of the movie, which is super unfortunate. And so, yeah, I've got a little sentimental soft spot for him and would like to see him succeed because that. So there you go. That's what I've got for you on the primetime Emmy nominations for The Mandalorian, and their chances of winning sadly not so good, but hey, hope springs eternal. And that is going to do it for this episode of the show. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.